Siyata Dishmai, with the help of Hashem, I want to talk about Shavuos, which is Kabbalah Torah, which is coming in 1 week from now. Kabbalah Torah, to receive the Torah, Hashem gave us the Torah on Sinai, and Lemaise, when it came down to the reality of Kabbalah Torah, that night the Jewish people slept over the time, and Hashem had to wake them up. Like a person prepares himself for a test, and he's up all night to prepare for the test. When comes the test, he falls asleep. So it was a chesaron calculation, chesaron in achona. Because of that, the Sfaradim and the Hasidim, on Leil Shavuos, they read something called Tikkun Leil Shavuos. They do a Tikkun, a fixing. You have to fix. The Jewish people, when they came down to the Torah, were sleeping. So we have a Tikkun, we up from midnight till the morning, all night we up, and we read every part of the Torah. The Tikkun Shavuos, they take Chumash Bereishis, Shmois, all the Chumashim, they read parts of everything, and all the Tanakh, part of Mishnayos, Gemara, every part, as if that part gives a chaloi shame on the whole thing, and they have to prepare themselves, and in the morning we have Kabbalah Torah, and we all prepare. So the starting point is to do a Tikkun, so the Arizal, Sfardim Hasidim do Tikkun, that they learn, they read the Tikkun of Leil Shavuos. But the Yeshivas, they do a different Tikkun. The Yeshivas, they learn something Be'iyun, in depth. They take a subject, and they learn Be'iyun all night, and towards the morning, the Rosh Yeshiva stands up of that Besmedrash or the rabbi, whatever it is, and he gives an observation, understanding, or summary what they learn, and then they go into daven and Kabbalah Torah. Which means that they follow in the Tikkun, in the Ameinu Torah, in the Iyun in the Torah. That's the Tikkun. And really, depends on the synagogue. If it's Balabati, people who work, so they cannot learn subject biyun, they're not accustomed of that. So they'll do the Tikkun, they say Tehillim, Tikkun, but places where there is Bnei Torah, so it depends. If the Ashkenazim, they only do Iyun. If the Sephardim, they do both. They do Tikkun, and part, the rest, which they do Tikkun, let's say early, and then they go in to learn the Iyun, and they prepare the Heaven Rosh Yeshiva Shir. So they do both. That's what I do with Israelis. Yeshiva, I give their Shir Kroni early, because I have a problem on time, and then they read the Tikkun. It should be really before then, Iyun. I cannot be in two places or two languages in one shot. So I do opposite. But really, that's the way it should be. So I want to talk about our custom, which is Ashkenazi custom, is to learn a subject be'iyun with all the strength. That's the real preparation and the real tikkun for Shavuos. How is it? So we spoke about last week that the Torah Kedosha says, what is the pivotal point that brings all the brachas for a person? It's not doing the mitzvahs, it's not learning Torah. It's the amelus in the learning Torah. It's the working hard in the submitting yourself in the learning Torah. And we explain the concept, the svara behind it, is when you immerse yourself, your toil in Torah means you connected to it. How how a person is going to have a connection to the Chochmas Hashem, which Hashem, we know every word in the Torah, the wisdom of Hashem is Hashem, Kivyochel. There's no separation between the wisdom of Hashem and Hashem. By human being, my wisdom is on my fingers, it's on my legs. We are separated in concept and reality. But Hashem, which is Hashem Echad, complete oneness, Chochmas HaTorah and Hashem is one. And every word in the Torah is Hashem, Hashem of Hashem, representing the words of this is Kivyochel, is the essence of Hashem. So how can a person connect in the highest form to Hashem, Dveikus Hashem? You go to a forest and you scream, Reb Nachman, oh Hashem, help me, which is great. It's another form to connect to Hashem. But there is such a thing called Amelus HaMachshava. Is the working of your thoughts. Obviously, with your emotion, you're fighting in Torah, you're excited, you want energy to understand. So you have the emotions, you have the energy, you have the body, and the main thing is Amelus HaMachshava. That's the highest form. You have Maaseh, Dibur, and Machshava. Machshava is the height. That's the top part. That's the crown of the neshama, of the lower part of the neshama, the Kedosh in our body. So we have Amelus HaMachshava. We immerse our thoughts to understand what we learned. So when they're trying to understand the wisdom of Hashem, my thinking is trying to understand it. Means I want to absorb the wisdom of Hashem, so I'm connected to Hashem directly. There is a direct connect. So really, in order to submerge, to connect to Hashem, and to receive the Torah to be the most closest in our reality of our lives, in this world to Hashem, is only one way. There's many ways, but the highest form is when you have Amelus HaMachshava. When you immerse your thoughts in Hashem's wisdom, with all your father, like my father used to say, when I speak right now and you hear me, can you feel your shoes? You have sandals, right? Now think about your sandals, they're tight or loose. You think you never feel it, right? But when I spoke, you didn't feel it. Because your whole body was elevated, and your whole emotions were elevated to your thought to understand what I'm saying. This is Amelus HaMachshava. Amelus HaMachshava can draw and suck your whole body, your emotions to your thinking. You have to now focus. And you can, when a person focuses, now you hear me, I'm speaking, there's some noise outside, you don't hear them. When you're not focused, you can hear the bells ringing, which means the focus can cut out everything else. Elevates your body, your emotions, and your thoughts, and your dibur, and that's Amelus HaMachshava. So we want to be in the crown. Kabbalah Sabtoir and Shavuos, we want to be connected. When Shavuos comes in, Shavuos morning comes in, and we now davening to Hashem and thanking Hashem and read the Torah and Kabbalah Sabtoir, we do an act of Kivyochel Kabbalah Sabtoir in that moment. The right preparation is to have Amelus HaTorah, to take a subject which is a complex with wisdom, and you have to work hard, submit your whole body and your emotions. Because in order to understand the Torah, you can't learn Torah with a left hand. Lamasmilim. It becomes Samamav, it becomes drug of death. In order for the drug of life, that a complicated thing, it becomes a yoke. When you don't have a full heart, the complicated becomes Shmuel, it becomes a yoke. You choke, you're not happy, you want to run away from it. But when you have a full heart, and you come with all your emotions, and you're fully but on my meaning with our right hand, it becomes a drug of life, and then your whole body's drugged up. Your body, your emotions, your thought, you're flying. You're connected to Hashem, and you don't feel your sandals, your shoes, your body, what you wear, your tight shirt. You don't feel what's surrounding. You don't even hear. And one of the biggest wonders when you walk into a Beis Medrash, a lot of people are screaming and talking, and nobody. Did you hear your friends speak? You don't even hear nobody else. You just hear your chavruso, your rebbe. You're so focused, you can't even hear nobody else screaming and shouting because you're focused. Everybody's focused totally. And this is the real preparation and the real tikkun for Kabbalah Sabtoir. The tikkun for Kabbalah Sabtoir is to be totally immersed and connected to Hashem. We explained Thursday, or Friday afternoon, I explained in Yeshiva, those who were here, that the Germans, they wrote in the entrance of the concentration camp, Harbet Machfrei, means work makes you free. Because they understood that the job of a human being is to develop the world, the physical world, which is true. It says in Bereshis, control the land, overcome it, settle the land, fruitful, which means develop the physical world. Kifshua, control the animals, conquer the land and build the land. That's the job of a human being. So develop the physical world. So when a person works hard with all his energy, he becomes himself. He feels in contact with himself. He feels good because he totally immerses himself to do a job. He takes that part, a machine, like the Germans are very good in machinery, right? They're the best mechanics and things like that. They work fully with all the energy to create what they want to create. They feel good, they become free. Why? What free? Free means their emotions, the goal of the internal inner being is in contact with themselves. But the job of the Jew is not to develop the physical world. That's going. The job of Jews is to develop the spiritual world. I remember many years ago, I went with my father, bless his memory, for Shabbos to Pennsylvania University, Penn University. And Penn University has 50,000 students. 15,000 students out of the university are Jews. Almost a third of the Penn University students, college students, are Jews. And it's one of the best universities in the world, Penn University. Used to be, I don't know, in those days, about 1990. I don't know right now. Not anymore, okay? Lemaise, we went there for Shabbos, and we went to a Hillel house. There was 500 college students davening in the shul. It was a packed Shabbos. It was right before Pesach, Shabbos before Pesach. And they asked my father, bless his memory, to speak there. It was full of college students, and they're all like modern Orthodox or less. And here comes a Haredi, black hat, white and red, but he learned. My father was a doctor, okay, so they were willing to hear from him. And he was saying this statement, what I just said before. He says, if you think as Jews that your goal is to be Einstein, your goal is to be Freud, and all those fraud, reality, you're making a big mistake. If you're going to university to have a parnasa, it's a mitzvah. You learn to learn a profession is a mitzvah. You have to learn a profession if that's what you need. That's what you think will bring a parnasa. I don't know if it will. Because there are many people that go to university, get college, they don't do nothing with it, parnasa in their life, has nothing to do with it. That's what my father told us. I'm not sending you to college. My father sent me to college. I became a doctor. I want to send you to become a Talmid Chachamim. Parnasa doesn't come from college, he used to tell us. So the courses, if you did, you'll see whatever Hashem runs in your life. And the best parnasa is learning Torah. He told those college students, if you're thinking you're going to be the best in the nation of the book, that they developed the physical world, you're mistaken. Those guys that were professors, they were failures in the Jewish nation. They were failures. Instead of becoming big rabbis, Rabbi Einstein, Rabbi Alex, they became professors. It was a failure. Because they didn't take their job. They did somebody else's job. They did the job of the Goy. The Goy need to develop the physical world. But the Jews' job is to develop the spiritual world. There's not too many Jews that we can take other people's jobs. Very small amount of Jews. So if you had the merit to come to Yeshiva, to learn Torah, and Bezrat Hashem, in 1 week from now we're going to have a Kabbalah Torah, what do you need what are you striving? What does Shavuos for you mean? What does it mean for you? What does it mean for me? Shavuos, I want to connect to the highest reality. I connect my soul, my emotions, my body, God. And what's the formula? Is to take a sugya be'iyun, a piece in depths, and figure out and put your heart and your soul, and becomes excited, not a yoke. And I want to run away from, and so much I'm excited and waiting to put the energy. I rest before, and I come ready with all my energy to be awake and understand the peace. And here are the Rosh Yeshivas, Kabbalah Torah, I'm listening for the rabbi, what he received from his rabbis, and then I'm ready, I'm connected to Hashem. And this is what we do in the yeshiva. And I expect from everyone to be there. But not as a drag in your body, the rabbi asked me to come in. No, I'm excited. People have to hold you back. You're running there. And you told your friend, listen, you know what's going on in the yeshiva on Shavuos night? is the night of the Yotzei of David HaMelech. In the holy place of Yerushalayim, we have ability to immerse ourselves in the wisdom of Hashem, which is Hashem, directly to Hashem. That's to be real. Okay, a lot of people in Yeshiva float. We let them, the Yeshiva lets them, because you need to have a decision in your heart. To make a decision, you want to put your energy and your heart into it. It takes time. But it comes from understanding. Now that's my point now. I want to give that understanding. If you understand what it's about, you have to make the decision and to be part of it. And Be'ezer Hashem, we have a Chag Sameach and a good Chag.